It began with that familiar smirk. Once it made my heart skip, but now it only made my chest feel hollow. We sat in the same cafe where we'd shared countless quiet mornings, yet the air felt colder, heavier, as if even the walls knew something had changed. She leaned back, twirling her straw in her drink, her voice laced with mock amusement. "What's wrong? Are you jealous?" I looked at her, really looked at her. The woman I used to love so fiercely was right there, but the warmth I used to find in her eyes was gone. All that remained was curiosity, the kind that studied reactions for fun. It wasn't her question that stung. It was that smug little smirk, the one that told me she knew exactly how much she could get away with. Jealous? No, just tired. Tired of being the only one fighting for something that should have been mutual. I had spent months trying to prove my loyalty every time she made me question it. But somewhere along the line, I realized that love shouldn't feel like a test I could never pass. So I didn't argue, didn't plead, didn't try to fix it. I just looked at her calmly and said, "I'm done." The smirk vanished, replaced by disbelief. She tilted her head slightly, studying me, trying to find the weakness she'd always relied on. But there was nothing left for her to manipulate. I wasn't angry, I was simply empty, and that scared her more than any confrontation ever could. She laughed nervously, the sound falling flat. "You don't mean that," she said, reaching for my hand. But I didn't move. I'd spent too long mistaking her games for affection, her distance for confidence, her control for passion. "I do mean it," I said softly. "I'm done proving I'm enough. I'm done trying to earn what should have been given freely." Her hand froze midair. The confidence she always wore like armor cracked, replaced by something almost vulnerable. "So that's it?" she asked quietly. I nodded. "That's it." For a second, she looked like she finally understood. The man who once begged for her attention wasn't sitting across from her anymore. He was gone, replaced by someone who had finally learned his own worth. She tried to backtrack, joked awkwardly, searched for a way to undo it. But it was over. The silence between us said more than words ever could. When I stood, she didn't stop me. She just sat there, still and speechless, for once unsure of herself. As I stepped out of that cafe, the weight I'd carried for months began to lift. For so long, I believed that walking away meant failure, that love meant enduring every hurt, every silence, every cruel test. But that day I learned something truer. Sometimes walking away isn't weakness. It's self-respect. I didn't look back. There was no need. The version of me who would have turned around hoping she'd call my name no longer existed. I had spent too much time trying to fix what she kept breaking just to see if I'd still try. In the days that followed, she texted. At first, it was casual. Then came the apologies, the promises, the words designed to pull me back. But I had already learned the difference between love and dependency. I didn't reply. She mistook my silence for revenge. But it wasn't that. It was peace. Real closure doesn't come from someone else's regret. It comes from realizing you no longer need their validation to heal. I wasn't jealous that day. I was just finally done being diminished in the name of love. And maybe one day she'll remember that moment. The calm way I said, "I'm done," and understand it wasn't anger she heard in my voice. It was freedom. That was the day I stopped chasing what was never truly mine.